Joining us today, straight out of the Jersey Shore, he's a former two-time TNA Tag Team Champion, TV Champion, and X Division Champion, and now a father of twins. Please welcome Robbie E. Robbie, man, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on? But you forgot to mention that I have the best hair in professional wrestling history, and that I'm a former cast member of season 25 of The Amazing Race. So, although I did like your introduction, it could have been better. Just throwing that out there. I don't know.
No problem. Well, congrats on being a dad. How's that been going for you?
Honestly, man, it's awesome. I was like super like very laid back about it. Nothing really phases me. Like I don't get nervous about stuff. And then when I was in the room with my wife and like when I heard the first cry, like right when twin number one came out, it was surreal, man. It was crazy. But no, it's awesome. I'm not getting a lot of sleep, but I'm enjoying it.
Northeast Wrestling is coming to North Plainfield High School in North Plainfield, New Jersey on Saturday, November 19th. This show is a benefit for the North Plainfield Police Department, PBA. Now, you're no stranger to the Northeast, especially Northeast Wrestling. What can the fans expect from you this weekend?
Mike O'Brien has been running shows for years and years and years all throughout the Northeast, and he always brings the best independent talent. Stars that used to be on TV or are currently on TV, so his cards are always stacked. So you're going to see great wrestling. You're going to see hot chicks. The fans are going to be rowdy. He always puts on great shows. Now, Robbie E being in Jersey, I might do a little something extra special because, I'm in my own state. You know how that is, right, bro?
That's right.
Not to mention, it's fairly close to where I grew up. Not super close, but close enough where some people that I know locally will be in attendance. So I got to put on, the best Robbie E tights and the best Robbie E tan. And, my best friend, my childhood best friend, is actually a teacher at that high school. So he's coming, and a lot of his teachers and students are coming. So, no, it's going to be a great night.
Great. Now, like you said, you're no stranger to Jersey, of course, and pro wrestling. But can you tell us a little bit about how it was like growing up in New Jersey and maybe how you got into wrestling down there?
Well, growing up in Jersey, I think I grew up like everybody else. I started hitting the tanning salon when I was about 3 or 4, the usual deal. I'm just messing with you. Normal childhood, man. I played all sports and stuff when I was younger, but my brother liked pro wrestling, and I wanted to do everything he did. So when I was 4, I saw wrestling for the first time. It was a Dan Spivey versus Sting match. I fell in love with it. The rest is history. Here I am now talking to you 29 years later after that Dan Spivey match.
Definitely. Well, you had to train to be a pro wrestler. I know that you got some training down at IWF, the Independent Wrestling Federation. Now, could you see yourself maybe one day opening up your own Robbie E school, or
it is. I've thought about it, and I do like helping guys. The problem is I love helping guys that are really serious as I was. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these new guys coming up, and again, not all, but a lot, just they don't have the same passion I did, where they don't care about money and they just want to wrestle everywhere, no matter how far the drive is, and get their name out there. Mm-hmm. Those are the guys that I would want to work with. The guys that half-ass it, or don't go to the gym, or don't go tanning, or don't create characters, or only want to train once a month, or rarely do shows, and aren't willing to give things up for pro wrestling aren't, guys that I can associate myself with. Nothing against them. It's just I'm either all in or not. I don't think I'd be able to handle it. I would get too angry at people.
Sure. Now, I remember watching you years ago at a lot of Northeast wrestling events, and I believe you were probably the first guy I remember seeing locally to make it big on mainstream TV. How is that moment for you, though, that day that you signed with TNA? Can you take us back to that moment that, you got that call?
Yeah, I mean, it was surreal. I was there for a tryout match, and they told me that, they were trying the Jersey Shore thing and to spike my hair up that day, and I did. And I came back through the curtain, and they immediately signed me to a contract. I mean, it was all like, whoa, this is all happening really quick. It was crazy. But, I mean, wrestling's all about confidence inside and outside of the ring. And I always knew I was always confident enough to know that I belong, and I knew I could be on television. I was always very confident in the way I looked, the way I could speak, and my wrestling abilities in the ring. So it was just a matter of time. So, it was a shock, and, I felt great, but I knew I deserved it.
Sure. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you were an X Division TV and TNA Tag Team Champion. Most of your career has been somewhat 50-50 with singles and tagging. Do you love singles or tagging over the other?
It's always good to change things up and keep it fresh. So I like them both equally. It's 50-50, hit or miss. I like wrestling singles, but then, all the teams I've been a part of, I've enjoyed also.
Sure.
So there's really, no one or the other. I definitely enjoy both.
Definitely. Now, being a father of twins, I know it's still early, but when that day comes that the bro babies grow up and want to be pro wrestlers, will you be that dad that accepts it and helps them, or will you strive for them to do something else?
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not it's not like, oh my God, I wrestled, so you have to wrestle. It's not, if they want to wrestle, I'm not going to be against it, but I'm not going to push them towards wrestling more than I push them towards anything else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My only request is that they're famous and just make a lot of money so I don't have to work when I'm older, and they can buy me and my wife a nice house, and, we don't have to do anything.
Simple.
That's it. However they do that, that works.
Great. All right. Now, wrestlers have to adapt to the times and always keep in shape. Aside from that, as being a man known for his hair, how does one adapt his hair to the times and keep it looking incredible as you do?
Well, you know what it is? Now that I've actually cut a few feet off of my hair from what it used to be, and it's not nearly as high and crazy, it's actually pretty easy to maintain. I wear a lot of hats and headbands in regular life, and then, for special wrestling stuff, I have it super, super high when I slick it back. But when I do it myself, I kind of keep it somewhat normal looking nowadays. It's really weird.
All right. Well, TNA stands out for its 6-sided ring, and then it went to 4, then back to 6. As a wrestler, does having more sides help or hurt, do you think?
I mean, at this point, when you wrestle it, you really realize that it's really not that much different. So I'm so used to it, I forget it's even a 6-sided ring. But for professional wrestling, anything different is good. Whether you think it's bad or good, it gets people talking. So we have something that makes us stand out and makes us different. Therefore, I'm okay with a 6-sided ring.
Sure. Is there one that you prefer over the other, a 6 or 4, personally?
Traditionally, pro wrestling is 4 sides. If I had to choose, I would do the 4 sides, but I'm also really happy with the 6 sides.
Sure. All right. Now, I must say imitation is a form of flattery. Some have compared how Robbie E came before the Zack Ryder, but now you have one Y2J who has a list in which, once again, I must say Robbie E had the list, bro, way before him. How does it feel knowing that you're an innovator and not really a follower?
Well, you know what it is? I feel like a lot of things that I've done in my years in TNA ended up, not just those, a few other things ended up being duplicated also in some way, shape, or form. But, I mean, it's 2017. Everyone takes things and puts spins on them. Anywhere where I got the list, I'm sure, however I thought of it, I got it from someone else who was doing something like it. So, it is what it is. I mean, we're all in this to make money in our own way any way we can, and, more power to anyone else doing what they're doing.
Definitely. Now, TNA for over a decade has been that competition for WWE. Not quite WCW competition, but a definite alternative. Do you feel that competition is good for everyone overall?
Competition is great for everyone. Yeah, I mean, whether it's competition or not, if you're a wrestling fan, it's just cool to have more wrestling to watch. Why not?
Mm-hmm. And once again, too, aside from wrestling, you were, like you said in the beginning, you're also a part of the Amazing Race. Would you be open to doing more reality shows in the future, or was that one enough for you?
Yeah, anything to get me money or exposure, I'm all in.
Well, once again, Robbie E, man, thank you so much. Be sure to head on over to northeastwrestling.com, and we'll see you this weekend in North Plainfield, New Jersey.
Will you be in attendance?
I will be in attendance.
My Instagram and my Twitter are at Robbie E Impact. My 2 sons' Instagram is at Cash and Carter Inc. My 4-pound Chihuahua's Instagram is at Prancer Pants Official. And, yeah, that's all.
Robbie, man, thank you so much.
Peace.